Pure fucking love.
He loves it.
What's up? Welcome back to Epically Latered. This week's episode is about Geoff Rowley, and I'm super excited. We followed him all the way to England, saw where he grew up. We went to Arizona, Utah, and Los Angeles, just to kind of like figure out what's up with Geoff. A little bit of a mysterious dude. I feel like I know his skating super well, but it's been a challenge to try to like get into his head, figure out what Geoff's all about. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. Welcome back.
I don't know where my mum and dad are, but try and find my mum and dad in this mess out here. Hey, I'm trying to find me dad. Where's my dad?
What was he like growing up?
The skating come in at an early age. He was into the football, which I was into, so it was more about getting him to learn how to head a ball and kick a ball properly and tackle. Do all the normal things that you try to do with your son.
Do you remember when Geoff first got into skateboarding?
Yeah, going back probably when he was about 8, and he robbed my roller boot wheels and made skateboard with his friend.
The professional skaters in Liverpool both had shops, so they took him under his wing when he was very young.
Later on, when did you start to notice it became like an obsession for him?
Probably when he was about 12, 13. He was just starting to get that madness about him.
It's go time.
I'm driving to
I don't smile.
He comes back all the time, yeah. Sometimes he comes back covert with the family, keeps it low key, and sometimes he comes back on a filming mission, but he always drops by the store and says hello. So there's a big turnout, and a lot of that has to do with Geoff. Skateboarders in Liverpool certainly respect Geoff and certainly like the guy. So.
Well, we're just outside of Liverpool city centre. We're in Edge Lane Skate Park. But this was the first skate park I ever went to, probably in 1989, something like that. There was people skating everywhere. It was my first exposure to actual, like, anything other than rolling down the street. Yeah, I remember it was kind of an eye-opener. Yeah, there used to be 2 half pipes right here, 2 metal half pipes, some kind of downhill kind of bumps over here. My mother and father are from just right over here in the houses over here. They grew up over there. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time in this area. You know, when I grew up in Liverpool, it was a pretty rough time. You know, really high unemployment and real high teenage pregnancy and not a lot of opportunity for people, so it got pretty rough. So it's definitely builds character. So I only the fence years ago. It's not actually skatable anymore, this place. It's hit the point of no return, I think. This was a pretty classic scene. See the glass? When I was growing up, there was glass over, like, so that nobody would break in. They just put concrete, they just jammed like broken glass into it. This is the bombed out church in Liverpool, England. Bombed by the Germans in 1941 and kind of busted the whole roof out. So it's kind of just the shell of the building that's left. Kind of scary growing up seeing that. You realize, like, man, this was on the ground. This was right here. Man, it changes everything, I think. You know, it changes, you know, reality as you know it. I used to skate here all the time. I used to skate here alone with nobody all the time. Even now, if I come home and skate, I come here before I go anywhere. Just roll around because there's all these ledges at the bottom.
remember going into this kind of like crazy, you know, alternative building where there's all the hippie stores and there was a skate store. And I remember going in even then, and I'm walking in there, you know, my tracksuits, I'm just some scally kid, and I go into the skate shop and I remember seeing this little, like, you know, not bucktooth, but little Geoff face. And as I asked the guy in the shop, you know, what kind of board's the right board to get? It's just him turning around, like making this comment, like, just something to me. And I'm like 3 years younger than Geoff, going like, whoa, just felt this thing. He probably didn't even know this. And then as I got into skating later on, going into the city center from, you know, the kind of sketchy area I'm from, oh, Geoff, who's Geoff? This. And so right away, being that much younger than Geoff, he was already sponsored, he was already known, he already had his style down. I mean, the way he skated, you'd go to a set of stairs, this is what Geoff did, or this is what this guy did and that guy did. And he was so ahead of just anyone.
The first time I came to London was around about 1990, 91, somewhere around that period. And it was dark and cold, and I got out of the train station and kind of, the friends I was meeting ended up being about 3 hours late, so I kind of cruised around and ended up seeing, you know, all of the Gone spots from like the Blind Video days, where he does like the lip slide on the little steep ledge, where he does the 180 and then the half cab to 50-50 down the hubba that goes down the stairs, which is like a legendary Gone's move, you know? And at the time, nobody could do stuff like that. So that was kind of the first introduction to me actually see like real spots that were in like videos or, you know, stuff that I'd kind of grow up in awe of. But I didn't know anybody in London. The people I was meeting, I didn't know them. I was from the north of England, where if you're from the north and you come down south, you're kind of looked at as being a little bit scummy, you know, being like rough on the edges. And so yeah, a little vibey. You know, where I was from in Liverpool, that didn't stop you, man. You got on your board and you just skate. So I just skated. I didn't really look at anybody, didn't really care what anyone thought, and if anyone wanted to fuck with me, I was ready for it.
Yeah, it's funny, but Liverpool was, we don't give a you-know-what, we're gonna skate hard, we're cool with it, turn the misfits up, everyone's gonna get hammered and go for it, and you know, and the rest was more, got your backpacks on, your tongue sticking out, and you're fresh.
I just got sponsored by Deathbox. So I had a Alex MOUL slick board and Deathbox teapot wheels. And yeah, I was meeting Jeremy Fox and Alex MOUL. And at the time, Alex MOUL was like just a god, you know. Alex was like one of the most naturally talented guys that there is. And at that time, like, he was light years ahead of all of us. And I'd never seen him skate, I'd just seen him in magazines. And Alex wasn't from London. So when I skated with Alex, that was amazing. He made me feel like so comfortable and welcomed me, you know, into the area.
Yeah, well, I'd seen some pictures of him in like the Rad magazine, and you know, he was looking current. He was doing like 180 nose grinds on little rails and what have you, and you know, and then I saw some footage of him at that place in Liverpool doing big backside melon grabs over it, and you know, 180s, and then Jeremy Fox was like, oh, you know, we've found this rad, like, you know, new kid, what have you. He likes leaping off shit and what have you, and you know, he's probably going to be pretty gnarly. So, and it was around the time like I was helping to get Tom on as well, because Tom was riding for the New Deal.
Tom is from Oxford, which is a little outside of London. You know, and I don't think even at that time he came down here that much, you know. Deathbox was, you know, it was all over England. It sponsored guys from all over the place.
When I was young, pretty much all I used to do was go to school, go home from school, get my skateboard and go skateboarding, go home, go to sleep, wake up, go to school, get my skateboard, go skate Dougie's ramps. And when you're young, you're skateboarding non-stop. You sort of make all your tricks after a while. It seemed like every time I'd skate Dougie's ramps, I'd learn sort of 10, 20 tricks every time I'd skate. And I met Geoff as a youngster skateboarding in England.
That was like more towards the latter years of Deathbox before we sort of turned it into, well, then it became DB to try and make it look a bit trendy, just the, you know, the abbreviation. And then we all chatted about it one day, and then we came up with the name Flip. Whoever did that, I don't remember.